Open the editor Turbo C++.
Sir, I had a doubt, sir.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, so yesterday when you explained, yesterday when you explained for the labs, how we have to install Turbo C++ and do it, right?
Yeah.
Sir, I was asking the file which we save after writing the program. Is it possible that we can edit that? I mean, edit that file where our code is saved in a code editor, and then just go back to Turbo C++ and only compile the code.
Yeah, that is also possible. You can use any editor, say even Notepad also you can use and write the program, save it inside the bin directory, and you can open and compile from there.
We can do that for labs, sir.
Yeah, you can. Why you want to do that? You can edit it there directly there itself, no?
Sir, actually, because if I use Visual Studio Editor, code editor, it keeps telling me if I'm making errors during I'm writing the code. Whereas in Turbo C++, I wouldn't realize unless I compile the code.
Okay, well, because in labs here, we can't have. You'll not see the Visual C++ because all labs machines are running the Fedora operating system, and it's not possible to install Visual C++ on Fedora. You'll be working with Turbo C, okay, using the DOS box.
Okay.
But in the lab,
okay, sir.
That is what you'll be doing. But at home, you can always do that. You can save it there, Visual C++, and you can compile. If you want, you can compile there itself, or otherwise you can save it and get the source file to the bin directory of Turbo C++, and you can run from there also. Anything is fine.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, even I have a doubt, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah, louder. Speak louder.
Sir, yesterday I had called you, sir, regarding installation of Turbo C++.
Yeah, end of the class, okay. You just share the screen, I'll just check.
Sure, sir. Yes.
After the class ends, okay.
Sure.
Okay, I'll open the next program. I think 10 was done. So now program 11. Yeah, even this was also done to count the frequency of each element of an array. This was also done. So 12. Yeah. So program to find the maximum and minimum element in an array. Okay. So we have the array declared here. So you have to find the maximum and the minimum element in the array. So we have the array declared of size 100. So one variable to assign the maximum value, one variable to assign the minimum value. Mx is for assigning the maximum value, and mn for assigning the minimum value, and I for the looping purpose, and n for reading the total number of array elements. So next we have find the maximum and minimum element in an array. We are displaying this message on the screen, and after that, so input the number of elements to be stored into the array. We are reading it into the variable n, and n is already declared here, and then we are reading the elements of the array here. So input %d element in the array, so many elements you enter. So the running the for loop for n number of times and reading every element of the array and storing it into array 1. So name of the array is array 1. And then initially what we are doing here is after reading the complete array, so we are making the first element of the array as maximum and again the first element of the array as minimum. So the first element which you are reading into the array is made as the maximum element, and the first element again it is also made as the minimum element. I am assigning max is equal to first element and minimum is equal to first element. So next we are running the for loop now. Now I am starting from I am not starting from 0 because I have already assigned the first element to max and min. Okay. I have assigned the okay. I have assigned the max first element as max and min. So that is the reason I am starting from 1, because I do not want to start with 0 now, since I have already assigned the first element to max and min. So starting from 1, so I less than n, I plus plus. So I am checking it. I just take the second element from the array and I check whether it is, if the second element in the array, if it is greater than max. Okay. So max is already holding the first element of the array. If the second element of the array is bigger than the first element of the array, so then I make max as what? The second element. So max is equal to array 1 of I. The second element is made as the maximum one. And similarly, and I repeat this process. Similarly, I check one more condition here. I also check this. If the second element is lesser than the first element, I make minimum as what? The second element. And I repeat this process for all the remaining elements in the array. So when I do that, so finally, so this max will be assigned with the maximum element in the array, and min will be assigned, mn will be assigned with the minimum element in the array. And finally, we are going to print them. Okay, the maximum element in the array is so and so, and the minimum element array in the element in the array is this. Okay. So I hope this program is clear. It is easy, simple program. Only thing is you have to read an array and just initially make the first element of the array as the maximum, and the same element is also made as the minimum. And next run a for loop. Start the loop iterations from 1, I is equal to 1 till I less than n. So just check the next element with the maximum. Okay. The first element which I have assigned as the maximum. If the second element is bigger than the first element, so then you are making the new max as the second element. And similarly, you check whether the second element is lesser than the first element. So then you will be making, if this condition is true, you will be making the new minimum as the second element, and the process is repeated for all the elements. Same process is repeated for all the elements. When all the iterations of the for loops are done, so you will get the maximum element of the array in max and minimum element of the array in mn. Okay. So this is what the program is. So we'll just compile this and run it. So I'm executing it. Okay. Now it is asking me to input the number of elements to be stored in the array. So I'll take 10. Okay. Element 0. Let me enter 0. Okay. And then 6, 2, 5, 7, 9. Let me enter 10, and then 4, and then 2, and then 1. Okay. Now all 10 elements I've read. So now the program is executed, and it should, if I press Alt F5, it should show me what is the minimum and maximum. The maximum element is 10, and the minimum element what I've entered is 0. Okay. So let us do the step-by-step execution of this program. I'll use F7. Okay. So I've pressed F7 now. From the keyboard. So now the execution has started from the main. So now it is saying printf find the maximum and minimum element in the array. So this message is prompted on the screen. So Alt F5, you can observe here. So just observe below, find maximum and minimum element in the array. Along with the a new line, you will find all the dotted line. Okay, next. Input the number of elements to be stored in the array. So now scanf is being called. If I press F7, so it will automatically go to the output screen, and it is waiting for me to enter the number of elements in the array. Okay, so I don't take 10 now. Let me take lesser number, 6 elements. I want to store 6 elements in the array. I press enter now. Okay, so now it will ask me, so input 6 elements in the array. Okay, now I'm running a for loop for I is equal to 0 to I less than 6. So it says me enter element 0. Okay, so and if I press F7 and again, and to read element 0, we are calling scanf again. Now it is asking me to enter element 0. Now I'll put element 0 as 10. Now again F7, it says element 2, element 1. So and then scanf, so 20, and then again element 3, sorry, 2, and then read it. Say let me enter 05. Now element 3, so 06. Now element 4, let me give it as 30. Now element 5, let me give it as 12. So so all 0 to 5, total all 6 elements are read now. Now what you are doing here, you are you can add one more thing. Let me show you. Add watch mx. Okay, I press F7 now. See, I have added add watch. So I just wanted to observe what is the value assigned to mx. So what is the value assigned to mx right now? 10. So array 1 of 0, what is the element stored there? 10. Right now what is assigned to mx? 10. So let me press Alt F5 and show you the first element in the array is 10. So all these things you can do. If you want to observe the value of any of the expression, any of the variable, you can just go to debug here, watches, so add watch. Okay, now if you add watch and use the variable name, and you can observe its value when you are executing. Okay, let me add it again, add watches, add watch. So I want to say this mx I want to watch. I'll give OK, and then mn also. Okay, now F7. Okay, add watch mx. Okay, once again I'll just delete, remove all watches. So I'll do it from the beginning. 1 second. Let me do Control F9 because I wanted to show you that. Alt F5. Okay, minimum and maximum element and minimum element is shown. Let me execute it from the beginning by adding the add watch. Let me add watch mx. Control F7. Okay, let me debug it and start the debug and check. It was there. I don't know why it is not showing. Watches, add watch. Okay, MX. Okay, let me come there. Okay, enter the element 6. I'll enter. Now reading. Let me complete it till there fast. So 10 and then 20 and then say 05, 06, 04, 03. Okay, now let me add. Let me minimize and see once. Okay, we'll see. I have taken inspecting MX. Okay, now I press F7 now. Yeah, you can observe here also. See what moved to MX is 10. So what got assigned to MX is right now 10, and this is what you are seeing is hexadecimal equivalent for it. Okay, hexadecimal equivalent of 10 is A. So I hope all of you know hexadecimal values. Do you know hexadecimal values? Hello? Able to hear me? Hello?
Yes,
Are you with
sir.
me? Yeah. So this is hexadecimal equivalent of 10. Okay. What is hexadecimal equivalent of 11? B. What is hexadecimal equivalent of 12? C. 13 D, 14 E, and 15 is F. What is the hexadecimal value for 17? Sorry, 16. Can you tell the hexadecimal equivalent for 16? Hello?
Into 00 G.
Now, how do you find hexadecimal? See, for 15 it is F, correct, right? Now, what is the hexadecimal equivalent for 16? How do you find? You got to divide it by what? 16. 16 how many times? One time. What is the remainder? 0. 1 0 is the hexadecimal equivalent for the decimal value 16. What is the hexadecimal equivalent for 17? It is 1 2. You got to divide 17 by how much? 16. 16 how many times? 1 time. And what is the remainder? 1. So 1 1 is the hexadecimal equivalent for 17. It goes like this. Okay. And similarly, when you say 25, 25 when you divide it by 16, how many times it is? 1 time. What is the remainder? 9. So 1 9 is the hexadecimal equivalent. So if I take 26, divide 26 by 16, how many times it is? 1 time. 16 1 time is 16. So what is the remainder? 10. So but 10 in hexadecimal is what? A. So for 26, 26, the hexadecimal equivalent is 1A. It's something like this. Now what you are seeing in the bracket is an hexadecimal equivalent. Okay. Now, yes, please mute. All of you mute. Okay. Now I am continuing. So minimum is, say minimum, I am not inspecting Mn. Let me inspect only Mx. I am inspecting only Mx. Now, so minimum is assigned with 10 again. Minimum is also assigned with 10, but I am not inspecting minimum. Let us focus only on Mx. Okay. Next. So I am entering into the for loop. Observe now. So this is the second element from the array. Second element from the array, if I just go back, Alt F5, so second element from the array is 20. Okay. Now 20 greater than, what is the mx value? 10. 20 greater than 10. Yes, it is true. It will enter into this. Now what gets assigned to mx now? So what is there in array of 1? That is the second element. 20 gets assigned to mx. You can observe here, inspecting mx, what is assigned now? 20. And what is the hexadecimal equivalent of 20? 14. Okay. Because this 20 you divide it by 16. 16 how many times? 1 time. You will get 1. And what is the remainder? 20 minus 16 is 4. So 14 is the hexadecimal equivalent. Next, you are checking if array of 1 less than mn. Okay. So this is array of 1 is 20 is less than mn value is 10. Okay. I can inspect that also and show you. Okay. Later. So 20 less than, so this is 20 less than, or else let me try to add everything. So let me finish this and add for the second run all the variables in the inspecting, and we will check it. Okay. Now again we are back. Now we are checking the next element. Okay. Alt F5. Sorry. So next element is 5. So I am checking 5 is greater than mx is 20. So false it is, it will come out. And now it is 5 lesser than 10. Yes, true it is. Now mn will be made as 5. It goes like this. Next element is, what I have taken is 6. Okay. So we are checking 6 is greater than 20. False it is. Again it will come out. Now 6 is lesser than 5. It is checking. Condition is false. Again minimum will not be changed. It will not go into the if statement. So went back. Now the next element it is checking. What is the next element is 4. Observe now. 4 is greater than mx. Mx is 20 already. 4 greater than 20 is false. What will happen? It comes here. And now 4 is less than 5. True. The new minimum will be made as 4. Okay. Now go back. Now in the next element, so next element is 3. So 3 is greater than 20. False it is. So we don't have the mx getting changed. And 3 is less than 4. True. Now the minimum gets changed to 3. And now we are printing. So max is how much? 20, and minimum is 3. Alt F5. So 20 and 3. So let me, so it's finished now. Okay. So let me add. So I'll just go and inspect. Now mx. Okay. I have to debug. Only when I go to debug I can add it. So F7. I'll just go to debug, inspect. I just add mx. Okay. Only when I go to that function it gets added. Okay. So F7. Okay, I'm inside. Now let me try 6. So I'll add 12, 10, 30, 05, 06, 01. Okay. Now I'll add inspect mx. So mx I've added. Okay. So I'll press F7. Now what goes to mx? The first element, 12. Now I'll say again inspect mn also. So mn is also 12. Okay. Now F7. Now mx is I'll just say inspect again. So mx is 12. Now I have to change it. So instead of using this inspect, if you, yeah, I can inspect mx. Okay. And again inspect mn. So mn is also 12 and x is also 12. 6 this is, yeah, 5. Now if I can shift between the windows using this. Okay. Now mx is 12 and it's closing. Or else this is good actually. Add watch. You can add multiple expressions. mx. I don't know why it is not coming. Okay, mn. So here you can inspect only one, and if I change, so what I'm trying to do is inspecting multiple variables. Yeah, I got this watch window I got now. So, but this one I have to close, I think. Yeah. So if I'm making it as full screen, it's not visible. Okay. So now I'll add one more. Add watch mn also. Let's see. Max is added. Add watches. mn is also added. So I've added mn and mx. Let me add array also. arr1. Okay, yeah, I've added. Or arr of I also I'll add. Inspect arr1 of I also. Sorry, not inspect, this is not required. Add watches, add watch arr1 of I. Okay, now added. See here, you can see mx, my array, and this, I think this is not required. Let me delete it. Okay, let it be. And mn is here, my complete array, and then this is my arr of 1. It is showing right now the first element of the array, and mx is 12. So I'll go to the program, I'll start debugging. Okay. So now you're checking 30. You can observe here. What is the value of this? 30, and mx value is how much? 12. Okay, 12. So 30 greater than 12. It is true. Now what new mx will become how much? 30. You are assigning 30 to mx. So new mx is 30, and now you are checking 30 less than new old minimum. Old minimum mn value is how much? 10. 30 less than 10. So condition is false. So minimum is not changed because 10 itself is the minimum. Next element in the array is how much? 5. You can observe here. arr1 of earlier it was 30. Now it has changed to 5. Observe now. Now you are checking 5 greater than 30. 5 greater than 30. So condition is false. The max is not changed. You can observe it. Max is not changed. Now you are checking. So 5 less than 10. Is the condition true? Yes. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The array value is how much? 5. And what is the mn value? What is the minimum value? Current minimum value?
10.
10. Correct, no? And 5 less than 10. It is true. What will happen? So minimum will be changed. So minimum is equal to 5. Because array 1 of I is 5 now. Minimum will change. Observe just this. Minimum will change to 5. So minimum is changed to 5 because I have added 2 minimums here. Both of them are changing. No problem. And next, what is the next element in the array? 6. Okay. 6 is greater than 30. You are checking. Condition is false. And now 6 is less than 5. You are checking. Condition is false again. You don't have the minimum changed. What is the next element in the array? Observe now. 1. 1 greater than 30 you are checking. False it is. And now 1 less than, what is the minimum value? 5. So it is true. Now the minimum changes to 1. So minimum value is 1 and maximum value is 30. And we are out of the for loop, and what it will print? The maximum value it will print it as 30 and the minimum value it will print it as 1. Okay. Now Alt F5. You can see here. So this is how you can add the watches also. You can observe when you are debugging the program the values also. Okay, at that time what is the value of the variable? All these things you can observe, and you can easily track your logic. Okay, so this is the program. I hope all of you understood how to add the watch window. Okay, so only thing is you got to have your program in a minimized window like this. So if I just maximize, I can't see now. The watch window is not visible. So what you have to do is you got to just minimize it. So here up arrow, see I have maximized. The watch window is there, but it is not visible. Only thing is you got to minimize it. Now I have minimized. The watch window is visible to me. Okay, so these are my elements in the array, and the rest all are stored 0. Now you can ask me a question, sir, why all these zeros? Because the size of the maximum size of the array what I've taken is what? 100. So maximum size of the array what I've taken is 100, but these are my values, actual values which I've entered, 6 values, and how many values? I think I'm not sure. And the rest all, yeah, till here it is my array content. The rest all is filled with the junk values. So this is from the earlier run. Since I've limited the array size to 6 now, it will access only these elements, and 10 is not accessed. 10, 4, 2, 1, these were from the previous execution, and they're still remaining there as it is in the memory. But since I've restricted it to 6, so it is accessing from here to here, and these things are not accessed, and these are still zeros because I have not initialized anything. OP people understood with this? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So similarly, you can add watch window for all the programs, and you just try to debug them and execute. You'll understand a lot more. Okay. So we'll go to the next program. Uh, 12th is done. Now it is 13th. Okay. I'll just close this watch window, remove all watches. You can just say remove all watches, it will remove everything. Now this program is not
Can we
required
add
for,
SCR?
yeah, louder.
So can we add clear screen function?
Yeah, you can. You got to include conio.h header file. Hello.
Yes, sir.
You have to include conio.h, and you can always do clear screen. Include.
So for me it is showing, like after I add Ponyo and CLR SCR, it is showing declaration is not allowed here. I don't know for what it is showing, but it is showing like that.
One second, I'll do it here. So CLR SCR clear screen. I'll save my program. So let me execute this without explanation, just to see. Okay, compiled, running it. Yeah, it's working, no? I think the place where you have added is not proper. The clear screen function, once again I'll show you. So this is for sorting the elements of the array in ascending order. Okay, let me take some, let me finish it executing. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now I think you have added this clear screen before the variable declaration. If you are doing so, you will get the error. So it has to be after the declaration part. So just include conio.h.
Yes.
Yeah, include conio.h, and you got to give the clear screen just after your declaration. Okay. Now if you are doing this way, you will not get any error. Okay. Now, so this is the program to sort the elements of the array in ascending order. I hope all of you have learned the sorting techniques in the previous semester. So this is basically the bubble sort sorting technique which I have used here. I hope all of you know the logic or the technique, how the bubble sort technique works. Now here again I have the array of size 100 taken. So to read the number of elements, looping purpose I and j, because we'll be using two for loops. If you remember implementing the bubble sort logic, you'll be taking two for loops, outer for loop and inner for loop. So outer for loop, it tracks the number of passes, and inner for loop is concerned with the number of comparisons in each passes. And then we have a temporary variable, because if the first element, when you are arranging in trying to arrange it in ascending order, if the first element is bigger than the next element, you got to swap there, exchange the first and the second element. So in order to do the swapping purpose, we use a temporary variable. And then clear screen, okay, and sort the elements of the array in ascending order. input the size of the array, we are reading it into n, input so many elements of the array. So this is all fine. So because all these programs you have understood how to read the array. So we are reading the array elements here, and next here the actual sorting technique is starting from here. So I am running the for loop phi is equal to 0, I less than and I plus plus. So this outer for loop is concerned with passes, number of passes, and this inner for loop is actually doing the comparison or number of comparisons. Okay. Now, so I is equal to 0. In the inner for loop, I am taking I is equal to j is equal to I plus 1. So if I is 0, so j value would be 1. Okay, j value is 1. That means, so I am just trying to compare the first element with the second element. So if the second element, so array 1 of j I am taking, j is nothing but the second element, index of the second element. Second element is bigger than the first element. Now what is that I am doing? I am exchanging. So this is where I am using the temporary variable. What I will do is, I will assign the first element to temporary variable, then I am assigning the second element to first element, and the first element is already there. So if I don't assign the first element to temp, say I am not doing this, I am directly assigning the second element to first element, what will happen? So I will be losing the first element permanently. I will be losing it permanently. For that is the reason, so we are backing the first element to some temporary variable. So I am copying it to some temporary variable. So I have taken the backup of the first element. Now what I am doing, I am replacing the first element by the second element. So now the second element, to the second element position, what should be written? The first element. Now where is the first element available? It is available in the temp. From the temp I am writing it to this array. So the same process is repeated for all the elements. Okay. Okay. So next, in the next iteration, what happens? J is incremented by 1 more. Okay, j is incremented by 1 more, and you are comparing your first element. Which one? Yeah, incremented by 1 more, and you are comparing that with the next element. So the process is repeated until all the elements are sorted. Now what happens here at the end of the first pass? So the biggest element will be placed into its proper position. So that is how the bubble sort technique works. So let me debug this and show you by adding the watch window also. Okay. F7 I am pressing. Okay, this is all fine. Let me read. The number of elements is 5. Now what I will do, I am reading all this. So let me enter it in the decreasing order, and we will go for sorting it in ascending order. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So done. Now before going here, I will just add the watch window. So watch window is already here. Okay, I'll just add watches. So I want to monitor now the 1 second. Let me cancel this. I'll just see the variables. Yeah. Now I want to monitor I, j, okay, and then array of I, array of j, and temp. So these are all the variables which I need to monitor. Add watch. Now let me say first I. Okay, I is added. Now similarly I add another one, j also. So j is also added. So right now j value, it is showing some junk value. Once it is initialized, it will get its proper value, don't worry. Now watch this again, add a watch. Now I'll add array of j, arr, I think 1 it is, arr1 of arr1 of j. So that also I've added. Right now it is showing 0. Okay, now I'll add one more, arr1 of I, that is also 0. And now last one, temp. So temp, okay, it is not temp, sorry. So let me remove this. It is only temp. So delete watch. So temp I have removed. Now I'll just add one more watch, temp. So this is, I have taken everything. So let me drag this little up. Okay, now I'll go for debugging. Okay, I select this. Now observe, F7 I'm pressing. Now I gets initialized to 0. See, for loop, first outer for loop is started and I got initialized to 0. Now j gets initialized to what? J is equal to I plus 1, 0 plus 1, it should get initialized to 1. So j is initialized to 1. And if you observe now, see here, array 1 of j is how much? 4. This is the second element. Array 1 of I is how much? 5. Okay. So if I just go back, so if the first element in the array is 5 and the second element in the array is how much? 4. Okay. Now what you are doing, 4 is greater than 5, you are comparing. Okay. So 4 is greater than 5. 1 second. Alt F5, 5 4 3 2 1 I have taken. Okay. So array 1 of j is 4 is greater than 5. It's false. Okay. Yeah, it then went here. Correct? No, we are not here because 4 was less than 5. And now, so I think I've changed here, sorry. So this, because when I was executing, now this is arranging them in the decreasing order. It's already in the decreasing order. Okay. So because I made the change after executing ascending order, I changed it to greater than, and I forgot because the program name says ascending order. I got to do this less than. Okay. 1 second. Let me do all those changes. Let me stop the debugging. Control F9. So this I have to make it lesser than. I have to make it as lesser than. Save. Okay. Now. So F7. I think it's saying undefined symbol j. I think I need to define them again. Don't know. Yeah, not necessary. Enter the size of the array 5. I'll read all the elements. 5, 4, 3, 2, okay. I've read now. Now we are in the for loop. So I gets initialized to 0. You can observe, I add watch the window, watch window 0, and now j is initialized to 1 and the second element is 4, first element is 5. So go back to the program, you can just observe. Oh, I have not given this. So one second, sorry. So once again, mouse is not working. I'll just close it and open again. Yeah. Okay, I will shall show you in the next class. Okay, so you can easily watch all the variables when you are executing. Okay, so now since you have the next class from 10 to 11, let me not disturb the other class, so you can join either other class. Okay, and we will. I'll just show you again this how to do add watch. Do you feel that is interesting and you can observe all the values when you're executing? Hello?
So could you repeat? Your voice got cut once.
No, do you feel that interesting watching, adding the watch window and observing all the variables when you're trying to debug the program?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Tomorrow,
Yes, sir.
in my next class, I'll just show you that again. Okay. Because my DOS box is terminating. So why that is happening? Because when I try to share it through the what MS Teams. I don't know. It gets terminated sometimes. So, but tomorrow I'll start with this. Initially, I'll keep everything ready and I'll show you for this shorting program, and then we will look into the structures. Okay. I'll download the attendance list, and after that you can join the other class.
Sir? Hello, sir?
Yeah, it is downloaded, so you can join the other class. Thank you.
Sir? Hello, sir?
And all these programs, I think yesterday I told I'll be uploading the programs to the Google site. I could not do it. Today I'll do it. So you download and try to execute them. Okay.
Sir?
So someone has a doubt, sir.
Yes, ask.
Sir, you told me to remind you at the end of the class, sir, regarding that installation of Turbo C++.
Yeah, okay.
176.
Okay. Your USN, please.
Sir, 176, sir.
176. One second. And the rest all can leave and join the other class. 176.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now I have made you 176. I have made you as the presenter. You try to change. Share your screen. I'll look into it.
Sir, still, I think so. I'm an attendee, sir. Still, I'm not able to share the screen, sir.
No, just now I have made. One second. Make it present. Yeah, check now.
Yes, sir. One second. So you can see, sir.
Yes.
So when I try to open that, it's saying, 1 second, sir, it's opening. So see, it's saying Turbo C++
No,
has stopped.
screen is not visible. Share it again.
Oh, 1 second.
So I think I have to stop sharing. Once again, let me stop. Yeah, I have stopped already. My sharing is stopped. Share it again. I'll see.
1 second. So you can see now, sir. Hello?
Yeah, not visible.
Not visible.
No, just you have that camera icon and microphone icon, right? Next to that, you'll find a rectangle with an arrow. Just click on that. Click on that and share entire screen. So, what is the operating system you're using?
Sir, Windows 7, sir.
No, Windows 7 it should work. Yeah, now it is shared. Yeah, open.
Okay.
Now it is visible. Yeah.
See, it's saying Turbo C++ has stopped working when I click on the icon.
Okay. How many bit is this?
This is 64 bit.
64 bit. Okay. I'll check with this. Okay. Because it should work, because since it is working on Windows 10 and Windows 8 also, it should work on Windows 7 also. I'll just find out if there is a different version for Windows 7.
Yes.
I'll just find out and let you know by tomorrow in the tomorrow's class.
Okay.
Yeah, all of you leave the meeting now and join the next class. ನಾನು ಏನು ತಿಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ತೊಳೆಯೋಕ್ಕೆ